If you're planning to retire in Australia, what I'm about to tell you could change everything about your timeline. There's a rumour spreading across Facebook groups and retiree forums right now, claiming the pension age is jumping to 70. People are panicking, cancelling retirement plans, going back to their employers to ask for more years of work. But is any of it true? Stick with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to walk you through exactly what Centrelink and Services Australia have confirmed for 2026. What's changing, what's staying the same, and how much extra money could be sitting in your pocket if you know how to work the system the right way. Welcome back to Centrelink Age Pension, the channel where we cut through the confusion, the clickbait, and the outdated advice floating around online, and give you the straight facts about your entitlements. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because every single week we break down exactly what's happening with your pension, your concession cards, and your retirement income in plain English. No jargon, no nonsense. And if you've been enjoying these updates, drop a comment below telling me what state you're watching from. I love seeing how many of you are tuning in from every corner of this country. So let's get straight into it. Will Australians still retire at 67 in 2026? The short answer is yes. Despite the rumours, despite the scary headlines, despite what your neighbour's cousin heard from someone at the pub, the age pension eligibility age remains at 67 years old. This has been the case since July 2023, when the last scheduled increase took effect, and there is no confirmed legislation currently moving through Parliament that would push this age higher in 2026. So if you've been losing sleep over this, you can breathe a little easier. But that doesn't mean nothing is changing, because there's actually quite a lot happening behind the scenes that could affect how much you receive, and I want to make sure you don't miss any of it. Let's talk about the eligibility criteria first, because age is only one piece of the puzzle. To qualify for the age pension, you need to satisfy four main requirements. First, you need to have reached that pension age of 67. Second, you need to meet Australian residency requirements, which generally means being a resident for at least 10 years, with some exceptions for specific circumstances like refugees or certain international social security agreements. Third, you need to pass the income test. And fourth, you need to pass the assets test. Centrelink will actually run both tests side by side and pay you based on whichever test gives you the lower payment. It sounds a little backwards, but that's how the system is designed to work, and it catches a lot of people off guard when their payment doesn't match what they expected. Now, here's where things get interesting for 2026, because payment rates have gone up. From the 20th of March, the maximum full-age pension increased for both singles and couples, thanks to indexation tied to the cost of living, wages, and inflation. If you're a single pensioner, your fortnightly payment increased by just over $22. If you're part of a couple, your combined payment went up by around $33 a fortnight. Now, I know that might not sound like life-changing money, but over a full year, that adds up. And when you stack it with other indexed payments like rent assistance and pension supplements, it genuinely makes a difference to your bottom line, especially if you're watching every dollar closely, which most retirees are these days. Let's talk about the income and assets test thresholds, because this is where I see so many people get confused or miss out on money they're actually entitled to. The government reviews these limits twice a year, typically in March and September, and for the period running from July 2026 onward, the thresholds have shifted slightly upward. This means more seniors may now qualify for either a full pension or a part pension, who previously might have been just over the line. If you were told a year or two ago that you don't qualify, it is absolutely worth checking again, because your circumstances combined with these updated thresholds could put you back in the game. I cannot stress this enough, So many Australians assume they've been assessed once and that's it forever. But these limits move, and so should your application status. Now, let's talk about something a lot of working pensioners don't fully understand, and that's the work bonus. If you're still doing some part-time work, whether that's a few shifts a week or some casual consulting, Centrelink allows you to earn up to $300 a fortnight without it being counted against your income test. And here's the part most people don't realize. If you're not using that full amount, it actually accumulates in what's called a work bonus balance, up to a total of $11,800. That means if you suddenly pick up extra hours over Christmas or during a busy season, you could have a substantial buffer already built up that protects your pension from being reduced. This is one of the most underused features of the whole system. And if you're a pensioner who occasionally works, you need to be tracking this number. Let's also touch on deeming rates, because this affects anyone with savings, shares, term deposits, or managed funds. Deeming is the method Centrelink uses to estimate how much income your financial assets are generating, regardless of what they're actually earning in the real world. As of early 2026, the lower deeming rate remains frozen at 0.25%, and the upper rate sits at 2.25% for balances above the relevant threshold. Now, this might sound like technical detail you can skip over, but honestly, this is one of the biggest factors in how much pension you actually receive if you've got savings sitting in the bank or investments outside of your home. If interest rates in the real world are higher than the deemed rate, that actually works in your favor, because Centrelink is assuming you're earning less than you might actually be earning. Let's talk about extra perks too, because the age pension isn't just about the fortnightly payment. If you're eligible, you'll typically receive a pensioner concession card, which opens the door to reduced costs on things like electricity, public transport, and healthcare. Many pensioners are also eligible for automatic electricity rebates as part of joint federal and state cost of living initiatives. And if you use hearing aids or need hearing assessments, the Pensioner Concession Card gives you access to subsidized services through the Hearing Services Program. And if you're renting privately, don't forget about Commonwealth Rent Assistance, which Centrelink can assess automatically once you've declared your rental details, meaning you often don't need to lodge a separate application for it. So what should you actually do right now if you're approaching pension age or you're already receiving payments? First, make sure your Centrelink records are completely up to date, because outdated information about your income, assets, or living arrangements can lead to overpayments, delays, or you missing out on entitlements you deserve. Second, if you were previously told you don't qualify, reassess your situation given the updated thresholds, because the line has moved and you might now be eligible. Third, if you're working part-time, start tracking your work bonus balance so you know exactly how much buffer you have before it starts affecting your payment. And fourth, keep an eye on the March and September reviews every year, because that's when rates and thresholds typically shift. And staying ahead of those changes means you're never caught off guard. I also want to address something directly, because I've seen a lot of frustration in the comments on other channels and in different forums. Many of you have shared stories about feeling like the system has let you down after decades of working and paying taxes. I hear you, and I want you to know that this channel exists specifically to help you cut through the confusion, so you're not left guessing or relying on outdated information that costs you money. Whatever government is in charge, the rules can be complicated, and my only goal here is to make sure you have accurate, current information so you can make the best decisions for your retirement. So to wrap this up, no, the pension age is not moving to 70 in 2026. It remains firmly at 67, and there's no confirmed legislation changing that right now. But payment rates have increased, income and asset thresholds have shifted, deeming rates remain historically low, And the work bonus is a powerful tool that too many pensioners are leaving on the table. If this video helped clear up the confusion for you, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more Australians who need this information. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update the moment new rules or rates are announced. And drop a comment below with any questions you have. I read every single one, and I'll do my best to cover it in a future video. Thanks for watching Centrelink Age Pension. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.